Welcome to Module 5. In the last module, we discussed about the story, the thief's story. Anil brought home some money and he kept the money under the mattress. Hari noticed Anil keeping the money under the mattress. The thief in him woke up. He wanted to take the money and escape away from that place. He took the money from under the mattress while Anil was sleeping. He had done the theft so well. He took the money from under the mattress without the knowledge of Anil, who was sleeping very peacefully on his bed. He made no sound while he did the theft, and Anil's face was very clear compared to Hari Singh's face. He remarks himself that his face had more scars than Anil's face. And he ran along the road after the theft. He wanted to be at the station and catch the train which would leave for Lucknow. The time of the train to Lucknow was 10:30 at night. Now that he had the money with him, he did not turn back or go again to the house. He ran with the money towards the railway station. When he reached the railway station, he counted the money first. It was almost 800 rupees. He thought that with that money he could live like an Arab for almost 2 weeks. But his conscience haunted him. He knew that Anil was the most trustful person he had ever seen. He had trusted Hari Singh so much that he had even given the keys of his house to him. It started drizzling, but Hari Singh did not move away from that rain. He stood there thinking about the trust that Anil had shown on him. He soaked in rain, and the money too, which he had in his waist, that too soaked. His conscience haunted him, pricked him. He could not cheat Anil. He stood under the tower, and it was almost 12 o'clock, but still he could not make up to go away from Anil. He sat under a clock tower, and the time struck 12. Now, what happened
Anil
next?
was
Whether
asleep.
he returned,
A beam of
listen
moonlight
to the text
stepped over the
by
balcony
Felix.
and fell on
Read
the
the
bed.
text along
I
with
sat up
Felix.
on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipped out of the blanket, I crept out to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. My hand slid under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes on my waist, held there by the string of my pyjamas. I slowed down to walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. But I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were most trouble than help. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear. The rich man showed anger. The poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. I found myself in a maiden and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin, and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp from the rain. Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. But now, I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or learn to write whole sentences anymore. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences, I knew, could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal, and something just as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself. If only to learn to read and to write. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway, it in clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with my notes. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hands towards me. There a 50 rupees note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought, I have been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. My spirits rose. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Today, we will start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself, without any effort. Ruskin wrote.